Most people think finding a profitable KDP niche is hard, but the truth is, it's not. You just need to know what to look for. And today I'm handing you one of the best ones. This is a niche that quietly brings in over $80,000 a year in net profit from just one book. So in this video, I'm breaking down exactly how I found this niche, and by the end, you'll know how to find one like it too. I use a simple 3-step niche filter formula, and it's the exact same process I've used to publish over 2,000 books and earn well over 6 figures in royalties. And no, I'm not talking about journals, planners, or the same recycled ideas everyone else is chasing. I spent dozens of hours researching, tracking real-time data, and studying trends, and I'm giving you the results today in this video. What I'm about to show you is something most sellers overlook, yet it quietly pulls in massive passive income. Stick around because I'm revealing the exact niche, showing proof, and walking you through how to publish in it step by step. Now, if this is your first time here, my name is Jeff, and this channel is all about becoming self-sufficient when it comes to making money online. So if this sounds like you, feel free to give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell so you can be notified whenever I release a new video. With that being said, let's get right to it. Now, the niche that has massive potential is actually called the monthly bill tracker. Now, the reason this has so much potential is if you look on the first row of Amazon, you're going to see these bigger publishers. But if you go to the second row right here, you're going to see 2 best-selling books, these flat-looking covers. If I hover over this book, we can see, in fact, under publisher, it's independently published with a bestsellers rank of 2,395 and that bestseller badge. Now, the book right next to it, it looks very similar, although it's not independently published. We can see this format works very well for this niche. This one's ranked at 4,512 with that bestseller badge. The one right next to it, monthly bill payment checklist, ranking very, very well, 27,000. And I went ahead and took a look down the first page and spotted a lot of books doing very well. We have this book right here ranked at 33,000, and even this book on the right ranked at 360,000, and there's more. This book right here ranked at 52,000, and if we keep scrolling down, this one is 185,000. This one's 162,000. This one right here is ranked at 23,000. So a lot of books here performing very, very well. Now, I use a very simple 3-step niche filter formula when identifying profitable niches. The very first step has to do with search volume on Amazon. So what I'm looking for are search results that have about 1,000 or less, because this is just going to tell me that the niche is not going to be too competitive, and it's going to give my book the best chance at getting ranked on the first or second page of Amazon, where the majority of sales happen. Step 2 has to do with demand. There's no point putting a book up on Amazon if people aren't interested. So in order to judge demand, I'm looking for 3 or more KDP books that all have a bestsellers rank of 300,000 or below, because this is just going to tell me that these books are consistently selling, which means that there's some sort of demand here. And step 3 is very simple. I use a niche score provided by Titan's Quick View, which is a plugin that I use, and I'm looking for a score of at least 50. Now, applying that 3-step formula to this monthly bill tracker, the first thing we're going to see is with Titan's Quick View, the total results 1,567. Now, that's a little bit higher than that 1,000 or so that I'm looking for. However, with all of the demand here in this niche, this is the type of number that I'm willing to take a chance on, and it might be even something that I consider running ads to help boost my book's rankings, because I know the demand is there. Now, the other thing that I also see is the niche score right here provided by Titan's Quick View is a 76, very high. I'm looking for at least 50. So I know we're on the right path. Now, we did go look through the first page, so we know there are at least 3 books here ranking under 300,000. So I know that there's potential here for success. Now, if you're worried about the search results and you think that 1,500 is way too high, well, I found this one right here, the monthly bill payment tracker. This is going to have lower results, 982, so a lot less competitive here, and it's going to have a lot of the same books. The niche score still passes at 54, and the average bestsellers rank here 163,000. So we know on average the books here on the first page are selling quite well. And just taking a glance down, we see very similar books. This is the same book, same book, same book, same book. Now, if we take a look at this book titled Monthly Bill Payment Checklist, Bill Tracker Notebook, 4-Year Guide for Families and Money Managers, this book is a #1 bestseller, has a 4.4 rating, 70% 5-star, priced at $9.99, which is what I like to see because with the new update to Amazon's pricing structure and their royalty payments, pretty much any book that's priced lower than $9.99 is going to see their royalties slashed. So to see a book this simple, priced at $9.99, doing very well, is very promising. Now, if we look at the features of the book, we can take a glance at what's actually included. This book is 128 pages and it's 8 by 10 inches overall. So a little bit smaller than that 8.5 by 11 inch size. And if we take a look at the A+ content, we can see a little bit of the interior here. So here's a page, my yearly financial goals, summary of the year, a lot of boxes here, and some more interiors. This one's with income and expenses and bill payments, debt payment tracker, other bills and expenses. And so we get an idea of what the book actually looks like. Now, if we actually take that bestsellers rank, take a look at it, plug it into this KDP book sales calculator, we see that estimated book sales turn out to be over 2,300 books per month. Now, if we go over to Amazon KDP's royalty calculator, and I've already put in all of the details here, 8 by 10 inches, 128 page count, $9.99. Submit that, we get a royalty on the Amazon.com marketplace of $2.82. So if we take our calculator, type in $2.82, multiply that by the estimated book sales, which is 2,310, we can see that this book is making over $6,500 per month in royalties. And if we go ahead and multiply that by 12 months, because there's 12 months in a year, we can see that's almost $80,000 per year in net royalties coming from one single book. If we take a look at this book, this is basically a carbon copy of the previous book, but it just goes to show you that even copying or trying to replicate a book, it can do very, very well. So this one, 4.5 out of 5 rating, 70% 5-star. This one's priced $1 lower than the previous one at $8.99. But if we look at the book features, pretty much carbon copy and paste from the last listing. This one is 8.5 by 11 inches, a little bit bigger, and 108 pages, so a little bit shorter than the previous book. But if we go ahead and look at the A+ content, we can see that it looks exactly the same as the previous book, basically just replicated as close as possible. Even the A+ content looks the same. Now this one's gonna have a BSR at 33,784. So if we go ahead and plug that into the KDP book sales calculator, we're gonna get an estimated book sales of 270 books per month. And if we go on over to KDP's royalty calculator, 108 pages at $8.99, this is gonna turn out to be an estimated royalty of $1.66, which is actually important why you want to think about pricing your book at $9.99, because then this book would have a $3.15 royalty. Now, if you price it 1 cent lower at $9.98, look what happens to the royalty. Gets slashed by a full $1 because the royalty rate gets slashed 10% from 60% to 50%. Now, if we take our calculator and put in our estimated royalty per book of $1.66, multiply that by the 270 estimated book sales per month, we're gonna get $448 per month coming from this book alone. So if this book were to increase its price to $9.99 instead of $8.99, it would see $3.15 royalty. Multiply that by the 270 units. We're gonna get closer to $1,000 per month. So that's a stark difference. Now, if you think it's gonna take you days, weeks, months to create this type of book, well, I've got news for you. It's not nearly gonna take that long. Let me show you how. Now you can head on over to Creative Fabrica and look under their images here under graphics. You're gonna see this section called KDP Interiors. I did a search for bill payment and Canva, and that is a keyword, Canva, because this is how you're gonna be able to create this really, really simple, really, really fast. Now here are all the results for bill payment Canva. And as you see here, there's actually a bunch to choose from. You have 1 here, 2, 3, 4, at least a dozen interiors here that you could use that are all editable within Canva. So for example, this one right here, the editable bill payment tracker Canva. It gives you an idea here of what they look like. But if we go ahead and look at the description, you can see the templates in this interior. So there's 7 versions of a monthly bill tracker, 12 versions of the annual bill tracker, and then so much more right here. So I'm going to go ahead and download this, and you're going to get a link to open just like this. All you have to do is click on this link right here. It will open up Canva so you can start editing this interior. So we have the monthly bill tracker. This is version 1. Here's version 2, looks a little bit different. Version 3, version 4. There's a bunch of versions of monthly bill tracker. And if we just go ahead and take a look at all of them, we can see we have the monthly bill tracker, the annual bill tracker. We have a financial calendar, billing accounts, bucket list, checklist, subscriptions, shopping list, to-do list. And so what you want to do is you want to find the best version here that you like. So let's say you want to go for a more simple monthly bill tracker. You can go with this design right here. Now, what I always urge people to do is to modify this interior. So what does that mean? Well, one of the things you can do is you can change the font to something else. And doing this small little modification can actually go a long way. Even as something as simply moving the text to the other side can make a huge difference when it comes to actually modifying an interior so that it is your own unique design. Now you can go ahead and modify the actual boxes. You can make your own boxes or own tables if you want from Canva. You could just get a square here if you wanted. And you could actually modify this square so I could put a border around it. I could make the interior white or any color that I want. And I can even change the thickness of the line there and change the color of the line. And that's another way of actually modifying the interior. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to duplicate this for however many months you want, or if you want 2 of these pages per month, just duplicate it that many times and just keep doing that. Very easy. When you get onto your next page, this is the annual bill tracker. Same thing, change the font. We can move it to the side here to have some cohesion with our interiors. And then we can go ahead and change all of this into a different font. And you can play around with these lines as well. So just do this with all of the interiors until you've modified every single interior here. Now remember, you can duplicate whatever pages you want. So if you want more checklists, just duplicate it. And then if you want more shopping lists, you can go ahead and duplicate that. You can move these things around and really prioritize by month. You could do a monthly bill tracker followed by a shopping list, a checklist, a bill payment tracker. You could move that right behind the monthly, or you can just be creative with it and create it however you think fits best. If you're still watching, then you already know this niche is powerful. The only thing left is to take action. I've seen firsthand what's possible with KDP, not just for me, but for people who started with no experience and went on to build real income online. So to help you get started, I'm giving away my KDP royalty roadmap completely free. It's the exact blueprint that I wish I had when I first started, and it'll show you how to go from your first book to consistent monthly royalties. So you can grab the link in the description down below. And hey, if this video was helpful, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to be the first to find out my next new niche idea. With that being said, thanks for watching. Bye for now.